It's really very heartening to see so many lady advocates at one place. I'm sure all of you must have come from different parts of the country and settled down here, just like SB 9 judges, thanks to Justice Ramana. It's like Ano Bhadra Pratoyantu Vishwadaha. Let all divine thoughts come from all directions. All legal minds are now here and to serve the country. Last week we were in Ahmedabad, me and Justice Vikramnath, and women, more particularly working women. I do have a soft corner, not because I consider them as weaker gender, but because I respect their commitment, I respect their inner strength. Vinobaji used to say that Atma Shaktir Bharat Atha Shashana Mukti. If you want to be free from your outer domination, you need to discover your own inner strength. So I know that all of you, when Miss Ritu came to invite us, I said, what is the need to felicitate? She said that our young lady advocates would be motivated by interaction. And I see that there are so many role models and very spirited and very senior advocates, and they all have made mark, and they are the very inspirational personalities. But one thing is that nobody will enlighten your path. You alone will have to do it. Be a light unto yourself. Thank you so much.
I will also request Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Puri, can you say a few words to the ladies?
Good afternoon, Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice Ramana, Justice Gyansuma Mishra, Justice Anjana Prakash, Justice Indira Banerjee, my colleagues on the dais, senior advocates, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a pleasure. It's like an extended family here. I can say it very confidently that at least I can see 50% of you who are here have on some occasion or the other appeared in Delhi High Court, and I had the privilege of maybe bestowing seniorship as part of the collegium in Delhi High Court to some of you here. It always feels good. Feels good in two ways. One, that as a first-time lawyer, when you see others charting their own careers and paths, it's very satisfying. Not everybody is a second or a generation or first or the third generation lawyer. The struggle is much more. But the satisfaction is that when you achieve those goals, you make a place for yourself under the sun. You're not only doing it for yourself, but ultimately you want others to follow that path and broaden it. So those narrow paths that we had carved out in the 80s have become a highway by now. And that is why we have ASTs here. Seniors here who are themselves role models. And I hope that those youngsters who join your chambers, who work under you, emulate you and take it further. So when we talk of light to lighten, and that was the motto in my school, I remember it used to be light to lighten. That is how we carry the candle. I think it's imperative that felicitations of this sort be done, not just to recognize such of us who have achieved a path, but to make others aware what all they can do and what more can they achieve. So this is not a benchmark. I would say it's a starting point to much better things. And that is why what Honorable CJI said of endorsing 50% of professionals to come on the bench in different categories needs to be emphasized in every which way. It is under his leadership that the Supreme Court has achieved something which was very difficult. I can share with you that as a Chief Justice of the state, even recommending half a dozen judges, lawyers, as judges is a tough task. And here, these are 9 judges at one go that under his leadership and his collegium, they have done that. It is stupendous. I think there's no history to it. When will this benchmark be broken is we are very thankful for this opportunity. I speak for myself and my colleagues on the dais. We hope that we can live up to your expectations and follow the rule of law, do justice, and give it that sensitivity somehow, sometimes, that women tend to give to situations, looking at it from their perspective. And I'm not talking from a gender point of view, but as a unisex point of view. So that kind of focus that a woman can have and a view on a matter which maybe sometimes doesn't occur to a male. And I'm not saying that my male colleagues are not sensitive. It is amazing that many of our colleagues which I've sat with will give a different perspective to a woman-oriented issue which may not occur to you. I'll be the first one to admit it, but it's a very heartening thing to see that men are equally sensitive. And you're on a woman's daughter day talking to a Chief Justice who has 2 daughters. And he really dotes on them, I can tell you that. So God bless all of you. We look forward to meeting more in person. I'm so glad it's not virtual. How could these emotions be expressed on a virtual screen? It can only be physical. Thank you.
Narasimha sir, I will request to address Lady Advocate.
Thank you very much. Stella Ben was saying that she has a soft corner. And I must admit, I have a softer corner. Honorable Chief Justice of India. 2 incidents have triggered a great amount of celebration. One was on the 24th of April, 2021, and on 31st of August. You know both the dates. Now the first day has really triggered so much of celebration, justifiably, because of 2 actions. One is an action, one is a vision of the Honorable Chief Justice of India. That he took up so many issues and then implemented them is extraordinary. And then the effect is actually seen by everybody. Appointment of 9 judges, High Court judges, and I was seeing Monday's cost list. It's amazing that there are 70 courts. Unbelievable. And I was thinking that how I wish I was on that side, so I could run from court to court with about 30 briefs appearing from court to court. That is something I really miss. And this is the great quality or dakshata, so to say, of the Honorable Chief Justice, where he could take up an issue and actually implement it. Another aspect of it which I wanted to share with you is that I haven't really got over this habit of being a lawyer. Every day I go back, sleep as a judge and wake up as a lawyer. And I start thinking which court I have to go in the morning. And I suddenly think where I am. And the other day I saw a news report in which the Honorable Chief Justice has said that Indian judicial systems is affected so much by colonialism. That is where it actually struck me that decolonialization is actually a constitutional mission for us. And I could immediately connect myself to the vision that the Honorable Chief Justice had mentioned. And large number of laws, large number of interpretations that we have suffered over 70 years require a relook, and this will, I'm sure, going to be a new perspective to us. The second trigger for our celebration, obviously, you know, with the advent of my 3 sisters here, of course, all of you I would enjoy when in the corridors where I should share with you, the difficult part of it was between L1 and the ladies' bar. Twice a month, the entire corridor would be clogged because they would have the party there. It was just our Mr. P.H. Parekh would sponsor that. They would come and never were we invited at any point of time. But I am hoping that sometime you would call us and bring this part of it. I have always been a biased person because I always believed that women were definitely at par. I had no doubt in my mind at any point of time, and there was more. And I honestly admit it that there are other qualities in a woman which are over and above what we could develop or we could share. Perhaps culturally it was not possible. How you would balance things and your ability to keep your calmness and share. And there are certain abilities which I think woman naturally grows with and displays it when it is in the context of a family or in the context of profession. This is an extraordinary feature for which this is an aspect which we all have seen it as men, and we also are envious sometimes how you would manage that. And this particular thing of 4 honorable judges being on the bench is an extraordinary thing. 50% is not a ceiling at all, and we will not stop at 50%. It's merit, and there is no deficiency so far as this is concerned. So therefore, I don't see a ceiling of 50% at any point of time. And lastly, I would say that as Justice Nagaratna has said that it will be honored to be the first Chief Justice is Lady Chief Justice. It will be equally and a higher honor if I could take over after her as the Chief Justice, taking over from a woman being the Chief Justice. That will be a higher honor than what perhaps she would do if all that happens. I am grateful and I enjoyed every bit of this. And I have so much time to spend with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Before we come to an end, Miss Indra Desi called against you because she could not come. She has sent one message. I will request Ma'am Anjana to please read the message.
Honorable Chief Justice, other dignified person sitting on the dais and off the dais, I'm just reading out the speech of Mrs. Indra Jaising. It's going to be, I'll read just parts of it because I think that we are fairly delayed. She's been unable to come, but nevertheless she wanted her voice to be heard, and that is in the fitness of things as we are celebrating the women judges sitting on the bench now. More Supreme Court of India as of date. Between the period 1999, after the retirement of Justice Sujata Manohar and the appointment of Justice Ruma Pal for a period of 4 months, there was no woman judge in the Supreme Court of India. Once again, when Justice Ruma Pal retired in 2006, there was no woman judge appointed to the Supreme Court of India until 2010. As it turned out, Rupan Bajaj's case was listed for final hearing in 2005 and argued before 2 male judges, and she succeeded in proving that she was sexually harassed. I said to her, see, I told you, you had a good bench. The point of the story is not that a woman judge alone can decide fairly when it comes to women's issues, but that women litigants feel a sense of comfort when they see a woman judge on the bench. There are good reasons for arguing for greater representation of women in judiciary, legitimacy, equity and difference. Legitimacy is about the confidence of the public and the parliament and the government that the judiciary is there to serve the whole population and not just a section of it. Equity is about recognizing the abilities of all those able young women who've been coming into the law in large number, equal to or greater than men for decades now. Before Justice Edwin Cameron was appointed to the Constitutional Court of South Africa, he made a disclosure that he was gay and was HIV positive and left it to the appointing authority to decide whether to appoint him. He was appointed, and the jurisprudence of the Constitutional Court of South Africa has been richer for his appointment. This is what we all want: transparency and diversity in the appointment of judges. We in India are getting there slowly. A big congratulations, therefore, to the CJI for having taken the lead in appointment of 3 women judges to the Supreme Court of India in one go, making the first time ever we have seen a critical mass on the bench. Increasing diversity on the bench is certainly one way to go forward. It not only makes the institution more representative, but also makes it accessible and equitable, which are goals of a transformative constitutional culture that the courts, especially the superior courts, the Supreme Court and the High Courts, are bound to uphold and protect fiercely. Greater representation on the bench, not only of women judges, but also judges from